Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Georgia. So today I'm doing another reaction to a comedian. And I've actually done him before. I'm pretty sure I've done like two now. So I'm doing Carlin's Saving the Planet. I'm pretty sure. I just thought it would be like a nice one to react to. I'm pretty sure I've had a few recommendations for it. So I thought I'd go with that one. So yeah, let's get on with the video.
See, I'm not one of these people who's worried about everything. You got people like this around you. Country's full of them now. People walking around all day long, every minute of the day, worried about everything. Worried about the air, worried about the water, worried about the soil. Worried about insecticides, pesticides, food additives, carcinogens. Worried about radon gas, worried about asbestos. Worried about saving endangered species. Let me tell you about endangered species, all right? Saving endangered species is just one more arrogant attempt by humans to control nature. It's arrogant meddling. It's what got us in trouble in the first place. Doesn't anybody understand that? Interfering with nature. Over 90%, way over 90% of all the species that have ever lived on this planet, are gone. They're extinct. We didn't kill them all. They just disappeared. That's what nature does. They disappear these days at the rate of 25 a day. And I mean regardless of our behavior, irrespective of...
Can I just say so far, right? The way he performs it, it's always got such like an underlying sarcastic tone, and that's what I love. But you know what? As I've said before, he's very much truth in comedy. So now when I listen to him and I come back, I'm just waiting to like hear the truth, but in a comedic way. I feel like that's mostly him. So I kind of enjoy that, really.
The rate of 25 a day. And I mean regardless of our behavior. Irrespective of how we act on this planet, 25 species that were here today will be gone tomorrow. Let them go gracefully. Leave nature alone. Haven't we done enough? We're so self-important. So self-important. Everybody's going to save something now. Save the trees, save the bees, save the whales, save those snails. And the great...
To be fair though, I'm sorry to pause again, but he really just isn't wrong, is he? You always see it all the time, like, we need to do this, we need to do that, to save this and to save that. And I'm like, I don't know, I can't say I do a lot of research into it, but how much of it is really like that serious? Do you know what I mean? But they make it seem so important, you know? I don't know.
Save the bees, save the whales, save those snails. And the greatest arrogance of all, save the planet. What? Are these fucking people kidding me? Save the planet? We don't even know how to take care of ourselves yet. We haven't learned how to care for one another. We're gonna save the fucking planet? I'm getting tired of that shit. I'm tired of fucking Earth Day. I'm tired of these self-righteous environmentalists, these white bourgeois liberals who think the only thing wrong with this country is there aren't enough bicycle paths. People trying to make the world safe for their Volvos. Besides, environmentalists don't give a shit about the planet. They don't care about the planet. Not in the abstract, they don't. Not in the abstract, they don't. You know what they're interested in? A clean place to live. Their own habitat. They're worried that someday in the future they might be personally inconvenienced. Narrow, unenlightened self-interest doesn't impress me. Besides, there is nothing wrong with the planet. Nothing wrong with the planet. The planet is fine.
Yeah.
The people are fucked. Difference. The planet is fine. Compared to the people, the planet is doing great. It's been here 4.5 billion years. Did you ever think about the arithmetic? Planet has been here 4.5 billion years. We've been here, what, 100,000? Maybe 200,000? And we've only been engaged in heavy industry for a little over 200 years. 200 years versus 4.5 billion. And we have the conceit to think that somehow we're a threat? That somehow we're going to put in jeopardy this beautiful little blue-green ball that's just floating around the sun? The planet has been through a lot worse than us. Been through all kinds of things worse than us.
It's crazy because I've really never thought of it like this. He's really like making me think of it from a different perspective. Like, yeah, do you know what? I'm just loving the way like he's performing it. Can I just say, I love his passion. He seems very passionate about what he's saying. But I'm like, yeah, I really never thought of it from the perspective of like, you know, I actually never knew that the planet was here for like ages before we ever came along. I really need to brush up on my history about, like, the world, because I really know nothing. But, like, yeah, I mean, thanks for giving me another perspective, George. But I'm like, yeah, maybe, maybe it is us. Maybe the planet is actually fine on its own. But you know what? I don't think we're doing anything wrong. I think the planet is fine. I think everything's fine. But I think that's just because, I have quite a simple life, so it's easy to think that way. But, I think it's fine. I don't think there's anything to worry about.
Been through a lot worse than us. Been through all kinds of things worse than us. Been through earthquakes, volcanoes, plate tectonics, continental drift, solar flares, sunspots, magnetic storms, the magnetic reversal of the poles, hundreds of thousands of years of bombardment by comets and asteroids and meteors, worldwide floods, tidal waves, worldwide fires, erosion, cosmic rays, recurring ice ages.
Oh my God, he knows so much.
By floods, tidal waves, worldwide fires, erosion, cosmic rays, recurring ice ages, and we think some plastic bags and some aluminum cans are going to make a difference? The planet isn't going anywhere. We are. We're going away. Pack your shit, folks. We're going away. And we won't leave much of a trace either. Thank God for that. Maybe a little styrofoam. Maybe. Little styrofoam. Planet will be here and we'll be long gone. Just another failed mutation. Just another closed-end biological mistake. An evolutionary cul-de-sac. The planet will shake us off like a bad case of fleas. A surface nuisance. You want to know how the planet's doing? Ask those people at Pompeii who are frozen into position from volcanic ash.
Oh my God.
How the planet's doing. Want to know if the planet's all right? Ask those people in Mexico City or Armenia or 100 other places buried under thousands of tons of earthquake rubble if they feel like a threat to the planet this week. How about those people in Kilauea, Hawaii who build their homes right next to an active volcano and then wonder why they have lava?
Yeah, I mean, I keep pausing, right, but I just have stuff to say. I don't know why I babble on so much. I keep saying it, but I just babble and babble and babble. But the only thing about that, I've always been confused how people aren't constantly scared. Like, if I knew there was a volcano, like, I don't know, like 10 miles away, I would not live there. I don't know. Wouldn't you be, like, constantly scared to live there if you knew there was, like, a live volcano that could erupt at any moment in time? I don't know, I wouldn't do it personally. I'd be scared all of the time. I don't know. It's crazy to me. But you know what?
Hawaii, who build their homes right next to an active volcano and then wonder why they have lava in the living room. The planet will be here for a long, long, long time after we're gone, and it will heal itself, it will cleanse itself, because that's what it does. It's a self-correcting system. The air and the water will recover, the earth will be renewed, and if it's true that plastic is not degradable, well, the planet will simply incorporate plastic into a new paradigm, the earth plus plastic. The earth doesn't share our prejudice towards plastic. Plastic came out of the earth. The earth probably sees plastic as just another one of its children. Could be the only reason the earth allowed us to be spawned from it in the first place. It wanted plastic for itself. Didn't know how to make it. Needed us. Could be the answer to our age-old philosophical question, why are we here? Plastic. Assholes. So... the plastic is here. Our job is done. We can be phased out now. And I think that's really started already, don't you? I mean, to be fair, the planet probably sees us as a mild threat, something to be dealt with. And I'm sure the planet will defend itself in the manner of a large organism, like a beehive or an ant colony can muster a defense. I'm sure the planet will think of something. What would you do if you were the planet trying to defend against this pesky, troublesome species? Let's see. What might... viruses. Viruses might be good. They seem vulnerable to viruses. And viruses are tricky, always mutating and forming new strains whenever a vaccine is developed. Perhaps this first virus could be one that compromises the immune system of these creatures. Perhaps a human immunodeficiency virus, making them vulnerable to all sorts of other diseases and infections that might come along. And maybe it could be spread sexually. making them a little reluctant to engage in the act of reproduction. Well, that's a poetic note, and it's a start. And I can dream, can't I? See, I don't worry about the little things. Bees, trees, whales, snails. I think we're part of a greater wisdom than we will ever understand. A higher order. Call it what you want. Know what I call it? The big electron. The big electron. Whoa. 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 It doesn't punish. It doesn't judge at all. It just is. And so are we. For a little while.
Wait, I don't know why, but the video just glitched on here. But the thing is, I just, for some reason, the way he's performing it is just like... It's got this like sarcastic underlying tone, but you can really tell that he's like passionate about it. Do you know what I mean? But that's the thing with all of these like things in the world. I'm like, are they just a bit hyped up? Sometimes I do sit there and question it, because I'm like, the whole plastic stuff and like everything else, I'm like, I do question, you know, I really do question if it's that serious, because I'm like, come on. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I just really love the way he's like acting it out, and like he does just like seem really like into it. And to be fair, I really admire the fact that he's remembered all of this. This is a lot to remember. Like, I really am appreciating the fact that he's gone out of his way to remember all of this. I mean, it's very well put together. And you know what, it's actually a really good thought, because I've never thought about it the way he's thought about it. So he's really giving me like another perspective about all of this stuff.
It all. It just is. And so are we. For a little while. Thanks for being here with me for a little while tonight. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So yeah, that was my reaction to that video. The thing with him, I just feel like he's very like, he's the biggest one that I've watched so far. There's so much like truth in comedy, and it's like, he really just has that like sarcastic tone that I like it's, I mean, sarcastic but true, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I just like the way he does it, and I mean, he's just very different to the rest, I think, which is nice. So it's like, when I watch him, it's like a nice change from the rest of them, because I feel like he's very like different, you know, kind of like unoriginal. And does that make sense? Like, he's very authentic in the way he performs, which I really like, you know, because you can see that he's just doing what he wants to do, I guess. But yeah, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and please turn on the notification bell. Goodbye!